In 1915, at the age of 23, Bessie Coleman joined her brothers in Chicago. She became a beautician and worked as a manicurist in the barbershops of Chicago's South Side. It was here that she met Robert Abbott, publisher of the Chicago Defender, the voice of the African American community in Chicago and across the United States. Always an avid reader, Bessie followed World War I and the military action of her brothers, who served with the Illinois National Guard's 8th Infantry, and especially the feats of Eugene Bullard, an African American who flew for France. She, too, longed to conquer the skies. Bessie confided in Robert Abbott, who showed her how she could turn her disadvantages into advantages. He advised her to learn French and prepare to attend aviation school in France. Bessie departed for France in November of 1919. When Bessie returned to the United States, she knew she needed publicity to attract paying audiences. She created an exciting image of herself with a military-style uniform, Sam Browne belt, puttees, shiny boots, and a perfect combination of feminine and air showman. Her first appearance was an air show on September 3, 1922, at Curtis Field near New York. In a plane borrowed from Glenn Curtis, she was checked out in the jetty in front of the crowd. More shows followed in Memphis and Chicago, and then in Texas in June of 1925. She flirted briefly with a movie career and traveled to California to earn money to buy a plane of her own, but promptly crashed that plane and returned to Chicago to form a new plan. It was another 2 years before she finally succeeded in lining up a series of lectures and exhibition flights in Texas. At Love Field, she made a down payment on a plane from the Curtis Southwestern Airplane and Motor Company, an old Jenny JN4 with an OX-5 engine. Bessie then traveled to the Southeast, where she did a series of lectures in black theaters in Florida and Georgia. She opened a beauty shop in Orlando to hasten her accumulation of funds to start the long-awaited aviation school. Using borrowed planes, she continued exhibition flying and occasional parachute jumping. As she had done in other U.S. locations, Bessie refused to perform unless the audiences were desegregated and everybody attending used the same gates. Bessie made the final payment on her plane in Dallas and arranged to have it flown to Jacksonville. On the evening of April 30th, 1926, she and her mechanic took the plane up for a test flight. Once aloft, the plane malfunctioned and the mechanic lost control. Bessie fell from the open cockpit several hundred feet to her death. Only after her death did Bessie Coleman receive the attention she deserved. Her dream of a flying school for African Americans became a reality when William J. Powell established the Bessie Coleman Aero Club in Los Angeles in 1929. As a result of being affiliated, educated, or inspired directly or indirectly by the Aero Club, flyers like the Five Blackbirds, the Flying Hobos, the Tuskegee Airmen, and others continued to make Bessie's dream a reality. In 1995, the U.S. Postal Service issued a Bessie Coleman stamp commemorating her singular accomplishment in becoming the world's first African American pilot, and by definition, an American legend.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about that? Wow. The ICAS Foundation has